Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube station. Today I'm going to talk to you about owing back payroll taxes and what you can do about that. As a former agent, I've worked thousands of cases. I worked for IRS for 10 years. I was a revenue officer. I used to collect these taxes, and I used to go after people who owed payroll tax debt. So I've been in private practice for 40 years. You can see me on my all my national news interviews. Many of you have come to me. I have about 7,500 subscribers, close to. I thank every one of them for listening. I try to give you the information you need in an honest and trustworthy manner. But you can see me on my team at 777irs.com. I encourage you to go there after you listen to this short 5-minute video about payroll tax debt. If you owe IRS payroll tax debt, many times you'll wonder if there's ever going to be an out, because once they start backing up and you start owing that debt, you got to say, God, how am I going to get out of this thing? Because, not only do you sometimes not file the returns, you can't pay the liability, and every quarter and every month you get further and further behind. And most people don't know you could file an offer in compromise to settle payroll tax debt. Most people don't know that. Everyone thinks it's just for the 1040s, individual income tax. But yeah, you can do an offer and compromise. We're a specialist in the offer and compromise program, but I'm trying to make everyone aware that you can file an offer. What you need to do to make sure to put this whole thing in a package: all your tax returns are going to have to be filed, number one. Number two, you're going to have to start making current tax deposits. If you can't make current tax deposits, that is, like if we're in the month of July, you got to make July's deposit. If you can't do that, okay, you can't do that, then IRS is going to say, why are you in business? They're going to say, maybe you should be closed. And I think everyone needs to take a good look at themselves and find out if they need to stay in business or not. When I would go into the businesses like this, I'd say to myself, there's no way they're going to go ahead and sustain this business, because people just don't see that they're getting further and further behind, and they don't know what else to do, and they're trapped and you can't get out. So you got to make an honest decision whether you want to stay in business. But what IRS will do if you want to settle your back payroll tax debt is you can file an offer and compromise, and if you do that, you'll have to submit financial statements personally, the 433A, and you'll have to submit a business financial statement, a 433B, for IRS to go ahead and look at that. And then if you're going to actually file the offer, you'll have to file the OIC financial statements and a 656. But at the end of the day, before you go do that, you should have someone really look at the offer. Business offers are tougher to get through. They require a lot more. They require a lot more skill. Even if you think you're competent in them and can put these together, the offer and compromises are not easy to get through. I'm a specialist, by the way. I used to work this program at IRS. I used to accept them and reject them, and getting the offer through is no small deal for businesses. So, if you think you're really good at it, give it a shot, but just make sure all your returns are filed and you're current at least in the last 6 months. If you can't stay current, IRS isn't going to allow that. The other thing IRS is going to look at is your total assets. You're going to have to offer at least the sum total of your assets. If you were to add up your business assets and your personal assets and they come to 100,000, you have to offer 100. You can't offer any less. You can't keep money. IRS wants your total equity and everything. Then IRS is going to look closely at your expenses to make sure you're living within your means. Anyway, that's pretty much the settlement program. If you're going to do this and you owe a fairly sizable amount of money, don't do it yourself. You don't have a shot in hell of getting it through. Anyway, I gave you everything I can. Know the offer and compromise program, before you get into this, and make sure your personal income taxes are up to date. Give me a subscription if you would. We thrive on those because YouTube says we need them, so I need them. Why does YouTube think we need subscriptions? It's really simple. They think the more people subscribe, the more value you have. Is a like more important than a subscription? Actually, the subscription, but I'll take both. You're welcome to call me for a free consultation. Ask me a question. Happy to answer any question you got. Thank you for the subscription.